tuned in with Curtis and Susie, live Friday night, teed up. Susie, what do you have to say to the people on tonight?
Well, honey, you know what I always say? Grab your bae, grab your boo, your sweet thing, and tell them it's time to be teed up with Curtis and Susie on Friday night.
All right. Well, listen, we're excited about what is
It's gonna be
happening.
right here.
What is happening in the ministry and with the Teed Up podcast. We are so excited about what is getting ready to transpire next month, February the 15th through the 17th. It is going to be our first annual marriage retreat. Susie, I'm excited about what's getting ready to take place. You want to explain to the people what's going to take place?
But before we do that, I want you to welcome everybody in first, and
Okay.
then tell them about our different sites, our different websites.
Okay, well, listen, I want you guys to do me a favor on tonight. I want you to go to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube account. We want you to go there because we have there it is. We have it's on. We want you to subscribe and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because what we're trying to do, we're trying to get more followers so that we can expand the podcast even farther. But listen, I want you also to go to those websites, subscribe, like, and share. Let me say that again. I want you to subscribe, like, and share. We're a Christian-based podcast that we are so excited about being able to minister to married couples. Those of you who are planning on getting married, those that are engaged, listen. We want to partner with you. We want to share with you through our podcast. Our marriage experience. Susan and I, we've been married for more than 30. We're working on our 35th year of marriage.
36.
Yeah, this year will be 36, but we're in our 35th year of marriage. We got married when we was young, and God have blessed our marriage tremendously. And we want to share our experimental piece of marriage, and also we like to share from the Word of God concerning marriage, because after all, marriage is God's idea. And so we want to share with you from the mind and the heart of God what his expectations are. You know, Susie, a lot of time people get married without any understanding of God's idea about marriage. So what we try to do, we try to pour into you before you make that commitment, because it's a tragedy what's happening in our culture, not only in our culture but also in our churches. How marriages are failing at a incredible rate.
Wait a minute, honey. You jumping in, going ahead. Did you welcome everybody? Did you tell them to go to our page?
Well,
Did you greet all of our listeners?
Well, I wanted you to do that yourself. I was waiting on you to do that piece. But listen, I'm gonna let my wife talk a little bit. She's gonna welcome those of you who are just coming into the podcast. We're so excited about you being here. Go ahead, honey. Welcome the people on.
Again, y'all know what I say. Grab your bae and your boo and tune on in. Like my husband said, we want you to go to our social media page. You want to go to T.D.D.U.P Marriage Podcast on YouTube, and then on Instagram and Facebook, you go to T.D.D.U.P HTX and like and share our page with some other couples. And then on the YouTube page, subscribe and hit that notification bell so when we go live, you will be notified. And then also we want to talk tonight about our couples retreat that is coming up. We are about 2 or 3 weeks out, and everybody's all excited. about the retreat. It's just a time to steal away with your bae, your boo, away from the kids, away from work, and just relaxation time. You're gonna get a chance to mix and mingle with other couples, have some good food, fun, and fellowship. And the reason why I stressed food, because I've been talking with different people about the conference, and that's the first thing they asked me: is food included? Yes, food is included all 3 days. You have food, because usually, with conferences,
You don't get those.
you don't get food. You may have a little snack or some peanuts or chips or something, but most conferences you won't have any food.
Absolutely. Now, you see how detailed Susie is. But listen, we want to certainly welcome you who have tuned in with us. I tell you, it's going to be a wonderful time. Tell them, Susie, how they can register for the conference.
So I'm going to put a link here in the chat section on the social media page. I'm also going to have it there on YouTube. But you all can go to all the different the T.D.D.U.P pages. It's a QR code there that's on the flyer. I don't know, some of y'all may have seen it. We've been posting different little videos, and it's the QR code there. You can scan that QR code, and it takes you to the registration page. I'm going to put a link in the chat right here tonight, and you can click that link, and it'll take you to the registration page as well. But I don't know if we want to mention it right now or at the end, but we're doing a special for only 2 couples that register within the next 5 days. We're giving them a discount.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
But you got to register in the next 5 days. So what is today? Friday.
The 28th.
So that means you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By Wednesday, you have to register. We're giving 2 couples a discount in our.
Today's the 26th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the 26th. So you have until Wednesday to register if you want to get that discount. We're giving a discount to the 2 couples. The first 2 couples that register by Wednesday. We have limited seating because we want to keep it, small and intimate. So we have a few more slots left. But we decided, because it's going to be so much fun. And so you're going to be strengthened and have fun with other couples. We want to make sure that you become a part of it. So we want to offer a discount.
And let me say this right here, Susie. I want those of you who are planning on attending to know this right here. We have qualified counselors coming in, and Susie and myself, we are counselors as well. But we have other counselors that's coming in that's going to be able to help strengthen your relationship in so many areas. I'm talking about we're not just coming to eat and to play games. We're coming to pour into your marriage. By the time you leave this conference, you should have some tools to help strengthen your relationship. You should have some tools to help you communicate better. You should have some tools to help you with conflict resolution. You should have some tools to help you with your finances. Listen, I'm telling you, you should have some tools to help the intimacy within your relationship, because Susie have one part of the retreat. It's called T.D.D.U.P After Dark, and we have special guests coming with things that's going to enhance your intimacy within your relationship. So if you're having some challenges there, we want to try to impact every aspect of your relationship.
Yes, as my husband mentioned, we're going to have a session that Friday night, late night session called T.D.D.U.P After Dark. And it's our intimacy session. And we're going to talk about everything.
And so, brothers, listen, I want to say this to the brothers. Those of you that, listen, you're planning something special for your wife. Hopefully, I hope that you are. Right. And so we want you to take this Valentine's Day weekend for instance, if I take Susie out on Valentine's Day and I bring the flowers and all that. Listen, I'm going to spend anywhere from $300 to $400 on Valentine's Day. I'm telling you, this is what I spend. So what I'm saying, I would like for you to make an investment, and that's what we're going to talk. That's going to lead me into our discussion on tonight. We're going to be talking about investing in your marriage. Listen, we spend thousands of dollars on the marriage, on the wedding, you know, but you spend no money investing in your marriage long term. So I want to encourage the brothers to take this opportunity this Valentine's Day and invest in your relationship by joining us as we go into our first marriage retreat. I'm telling you, if you miss it, you're going to miss a treat. What do you have to say, Susie?
And I wanted to say, the cost that you're paying for this retreat, it's only to cover the cost of the retreat. It's nothing is going into our pocket. So if you think that we're not pocketing anything, we're actually paying out of pocket extra because we want to make sure this is a great experience for all the couples that attend. So don't think that your registration fee is coming to us. It is not. We are at a 5-star hotel. And you have breakfast, lunch, you have dinner that night, and then you have breakfast Saturday morning. So you're getting a treat. You're actually getting a real deal. Shop around and see what some of the other conference prices are and see what's included in that price. So you're, like I said, this is a 5-star hotel that we're staying at. And you have food. We're going to have games. We're going to have bags and stuff that we give away. So it's going to be a treat. You don't want to miss it.
And with that being said, listen, we also would like those of you, and this doesn't include your hotel room. We want to stress that. Now, for those of you that are coming to be a part of it, we're hoping and praying that you would get a hotel room for that the night. For which day, honey? Would you give them the date that they need the hotel room?
For Thursday, you will only need it for Thursday night and Friday night because we're leaving after the Saturday session.
And let me say this, in the area, we're going to have breakout sessions, and also there's going to be a time during the retreat where we're going to ask you to, because in the area that we're hosting the retreat in, they have different venues there.
Venues, restaurants in the
movie
area,
theaters.
all kind of activities in the area. So yeah.
So we certainly want that to you to keep that in mind, because you might want to step out right there in the area and do something with your significant other, because the area is a beautiful area.
Beautiful.
And so we're really going all out to try to make this an experience for you and your spouse. So, I can't stress enough about this retreat. I mean, this is something that's dear to my wife's heart and my heart, and we want to strengthen your marriage. Listen, you should make an investment in your marriage. And with that being said, Susie, let's talk about a little bit about, let me say this before we talk. My wife posed the question. Should I go here, honey?
Yeah.
My wife posed the question online, talking about investing in your marriage, and so we got some of the comments from the question that my wife posed online, and so we're going to read a few of the questions off, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. Go ahead, honey.
What I did last week, we talked about investing in your marriage, and we see that the question was, in our culture, why is it that we won't invest in, like my husband said, we'll spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the actual wedding itself, but when it comes to the marriage and maintaining it, investing in it, we won't do it. So I posed a question on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and I asked the question, why do we not invest in our marriage? And so we received some responses back, and we're going to be talking about the responses. And if you're online watching with us, put your comment there in the section and tell us why we as an African American culture, and also Latino, because we've seen something there, why we won't invest in our marriage. So if you're online, go ahead. I'm watching here for the comments, waiting for you all to see if you post anything there. But so again, like I said, honey, I got it right here. I already responded.
Respond to Marvin, okay.
So like we said, I posted a question, and I have some comments from the people that made comments. First of all, what I want to say, when you're investing in your marriage, that's an important thing to do. Well, I don't know why we don't do it as a culture, but that's what we're going to talk about tonight to get some people's opinions on why they think we don't. Now, I want to start off with saying intentional couples understand the importance of continuously investing in the growth and the well-being in their relationship. You have to be intentional.
Absolutely.
You can't say, I'm married, I got him now, it's over with.
No.
That's when the work begins.
Exactly. It is a continued investment in your marriage. Like Susie said, you can't just say, okay, I dated them. I dated them for X amount of months or however long it took before you married them. Mm-hmm. And now once you get them, there's no more investing in your relationship. Well, if you don't spend time investing in your relationship, then you can rest assured that the relationship is going to suffer because of a lack of investing in it. So,
I thought you just went. So, so again, like I said, I posed that question, and Paula said blacks typically don't believe in investing in general. She was saying they don't believe in investing, period, meaning financially or in the marriage, until there's a problem in the marriage.
And so that's the tragedy right there. Listen, we should not wait until problems arise in our relationship. We have to have the mindset of preempting anything that will possibly come in our relationship. You got to understand how important it is to add up the cost. Don't wait till the last minute or till your marriage get in trouble before you decide to invest in the relationship.
Right. Let's be intentional and preempt it before there's a problem. And I think a lot of times people think that we good, we don't need any help.
Yeah.
But it's not about you being good. We want to keep you that way. So like we said, you're investing in your marriage. You're maintaining in what you have.
Yeah.
Not that you have problems if you come to conferences or retreats or if you go to counseling. That doesn't mean that you have problems. You're trying to maintain and understand this process called covenant that you're in.
Exactly. You don't have to. Your marriage don't have to be in trouble for you to come and get counsel or to get some instructions. See, the misconception is this, Susie. I believe this is what I believe the Lord put in my mind to stress. We as the human race, we don't automatically, Susie, know what marriage is supposed to be. And so consequently, we think that we have a misconception about how our marriage is supposed to survive. Well, if you take God's word, even if you invest in the word of God, get counsel and instructions from people who have experience or who have knowledge about how marriages are supposed to work, it helps strengthen your marriage. You're investing in your marriage through knowledge.
Right. And so I'm just thinking about what you were saying about what she said about people, our culture don't like to, in general, we don't typically believe in investing.
Right.
They want to live for the here and the now.
Right.
And that, that's a way, that's kind of, we want to change that. We don't want to be known as for not investing. We want to set up a future for our children. When want to leave an inheritance for our children.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not leaving them a bunch of debt.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to, in other words, I believe what Miss Paula is saying is that it's a mindset. We
don't believe in investing in.
Exactly. We have not built a culture of investing. That's what she's saying, I believe. And so even with the marriage, you have to build a culture of investing in your marriage. You can't just do it one time and say, "Oh, that's all it takes." No, it's an ongoing process. You have to have the process of the mindset, rather, or culture of investing in your marriage. You invest in your marriage through different means, such as, you invest in the intimacy part of your relationship because That's what you do. You
Do
invest.
they really invest in it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You should invest in. You should invest in the communication part of your relationship. You should invest in every aspect of your marriage. Like I like my wife. She invests in taking care of me. And you might say, well, how does she do that? My wife will go online. If I tell her I want to try something, she'll go online and invest her time investigating it to get me the food that I like to eat. So she invests her time into investigating what I like. So what we're saying is that you should invest in every aspect of your relationship.
Right. That's being intentional. That's being intentional. Some of the way, there's the question here as to what's some of the ways you can invest. You can invest in your marriage. You got to nurture the connection you have with your spouse. That's going to foster a deeper emotional and spiritual connection. It's going to create a strong foundation. And if you have a strong foundation, you're going to have a lasting and fulfilling relationship. You're going to cultivate the intimacy. This allows you to prioritize and cultivate intimacy and enhancing communication and understanding the overall bond you have with you and your wife. And then if you want to build resilience, these are ways that you can invest in your marriage. It equips you both to navigate the challenges and growth resilient together, ensuring that the relationship stands the test of time. And then through counseling, some other little simple ways, daily stuff that you can do. Digital detox. We talked about this last week. Digital detox, the phones. We spend so much time on these phones, whether we're working or scrolling on social media or checking emails. You spend 3-4 hours a day on your phone. Do you spend that much time with your spouse? Just think about it.
Absolutely. That's something really to think about. You have to, like she said, you have to detox from social media, television.
From the phone.
And take that time to spend some quality time with your wife.
Yeah. And some other ways is through counseling and retreats. These are ways that you invest in your marriage, because when you go to these type of things, they're giving you information to help strengthen your marriage.
Absolutely.
Other ways, you want to maintain your health and stay in shape, because no one wants a sickly spouse or out of shape, overweight, heavy spouse.
Yeah.
So you want to maintain your health so you can be here for a long time with your spouse and your children.
Let me backtrack a little bit, Susie. You said something about the retreat. When the retreat that we're hosting, it is not just us coming there to have fun. We're going to give you tools that's going to help enable you to be able to understand how certain things within the marriage is supposed to work, such as communication, such as sexual intimacy, such as finances, such as conflict, raising children. All of these are areas, trust, faithfulness, loyalty. All of these things are part of investing
in your marriage.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then another way is date night. You need to have a regular date night. I can't stress that enough. A date night with just you and your spouse without the kids.
How often, Susan, should we have date night?
I say once a week.
But
if you can't get that once a week, you definitely want to get it every 2 weeks. It's imperative that you take that time out. And if you're so busy, put it on your schedule or on your phone. Put it on your calendar and say every Thursday or every Friday, whatever day you pick, every Saturday, a date night with my spouse. That way, if that's going to help you remember.
Absolutely. I mean, we put everything else on our calendar, and so that we deem important. So your relationship is important. So you should certainly consider putting that on your phone as a reminder. It's nothing wrong with putting it on your phone. I have on my phone, my phone sometimes pick up and it says plan a date night with Susie. It's on here now, but you got to pay attention to it. You got to
apply it.
Apply what's on there.
And then I want to read another comment here from Ladine. She says, being a Latino, this is in the Latino culture as well. And I believe it's the macho, the control issue for us. But it's such an amazing benefit once a couple learns to take advantage of the opportunity of a good marriage conference or all those tools to make our marriage work, functional, long lasting, and enjoyable, and so much more. That's true. The macho thing that sometimes men feel like, oh, I don't want anyone in my business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or what happens here stays here. That's kind of like been a thing.
That's pride
in the
and ego.
past.
That's a lot of pride and ego. Listen, I want to say this to the men, and I want you to really consider this right here. Going to marriage seminars and going to counseling, it's not that someone is getting into your business. For example, if you go to a doctor and he gives you advice, it's for your betterment. If you need a lawyer, you go to a lawyer. It's for your betterment. And not saying that it's always a problem there, but we have professional counselors that help us in areas that we don't have the knowledge that we need. The same way with marriage, same way with the Word of God. You go to the places where you can get information that will help enhance your ability to cope with whatever happened in life.
And I'm thinking about what you just said about the doctor. You have what you call preventative exams that you have to do yearly, and based on your age. Some of them are based on your age
appropriate,
and those are preventative things. That doesn't mean that nothing's wrong with you. You're just going there as a preventative measure to check and make sure to get ahead of
exactly.
So if something is going on, we're getting ahead of it. Same thing with counseling or in retreats and stuff like that. You're taking a preventative approach. So if something do happen, hey, I remember we talked about this here. This how I'm gonna handle. This how we're gonna handle this here.
Exactly. It's not about you having problems. It's about preempting. It's about preparing. So a lot of time, us as men and women, women and men, we don't know how to communicate properly. We have counseled some people, and they bring the situation to us, and they say, "Well, I started complaining I was telling to my husband about my problem, and then he started telling me about his problem." See, that's a lack of knowing how to deal with a situation through conflict resolution. You got to know. See, we got tools to help you understand how to handle and how to communicate with someone when they're offended. It's just so imperative that you learn these tools to help enhance your marriage. You got to invest in it.
Yeah. So when you have a problem, you have some weapons, some tools in your arsenal to pull out when there's a problem.
Exactly.
And that's true. Yeah, and I know you when she was mentioning about men being macho.
Yes.
Of course, you want to have someone, if you're going for counseling, or you want to have someone that you can trust. Definitely, you want to have someone that you can trust, someone of integrity. If you're going to a friend or another
spouse,
person,
parent,
or someone, you want to make sure it's someone you can trust. You want to make sure they have integrity.
Absolutely.
So, and I think that's probably with men that they have an issue with trusting people,
and that's true. Us men, a lot of time we like to try to. We are the fixers. We're the fixers. So whenever we have a problem, we try to fix it ourselves. Well, it's like me. Whenever I have a plumbing problem or electrical problem, the basics I can fix. But when it get into the technical pieces of plumbing or electrical, anything that's beyond the fundamentals, I have to call in an expert because they know how to get the situation taken care of. And likewise, men, we know how to handle certain things in our home, but you got to understand sometimes we have to get counsel from the outside. The Bible says this right here: in the multitude of counsel, there's safety. So sometimes you have to get an outside. You have to get a mediator, someone who can come in and assess the problem, put fresh eyes on it to be able to tell you, okay, if you work it this way, because remember, a marriage is God's idea, and in the Word of God, He gives us instruction on how to handle situations. And so you might need a man and woman of God in your life to help you to understand what God's idea of marriage is.
Right. And so the next person, she said, this is from Tammy. She said, great question. I believe some people are more in love with the wedding and all the glam versus the life and dedication that's needed for a successful marriage. I think that is so true. People get so caught up in the actual wedding day and what they're going to wear and the food and what you're going to look like, who's in the wedding. Now they get caught up with the glam part, and they focus more on their wedding and the glam versus the life and dedication that's needed for a successful marriage. And she says, we have to understand a marriage is an investment in yourself and in your life partner. Life partner. Not somebody you get tired of and, hey, I'm gone, I'm going to get somebody else. Life. This is a covenant relationship that we're in. Till death do us part.
That's what this is about.
Hence our name. And with that said, the investment will require adding capital, making adjustments, and professional guidance to gain dividends with a profitable return.
It's an investment.
Good answer.
If you look at it like an investment, then when you invest properly, you're going to get a good return. You're going to get a good return. If you don't invest in your marriage, just know that your value is going to greatly diminish. You have to see. You got to look at the numbers. See, I'm a numbers guy. When you look at the numbers of marriages, the failed marriages in the church and in America and just across the world, marriages, the first time marriages end in divorce. 50% of first time marriages end in divorce. That's a staggering number. Mm-hmm. So, what can we do to help you and to help others change these percentages so that marriages can be successful?
We got to invest in our marriage.
You have to invest.
Here, it requires adding capital, making adjustments. You're gonna need some professional guidance along the way because we don't. This is marriage is on the job training.
I like that
word. A little help on the way.
I like that word. Add capital. In other words, you gotta invest. You gotta put forth some resources to gain the dividends, or else
profitable return.
You're not going. It's not gonna be successful if you're not willing to invest. Listen, like we said earlier, I want to give you this opportunity, Susie, to solicit them once again to go to the.
Okay. So again, we have a marriage retreat. I'm sorry, can't talk tonight. We have a marriage retreat that's coming up February the 15th through the 17th. It's going to be at the fabulous City Place Marriott in the Woodlands. Registration is going on now. We have a few seats remaining. So I'm going to have a QR code on my page, Lady Susie Spears, T.D.D.U.P HTX, and on T.D.D.U.P Marriage Podcast, which is on YouTube, and then Instagram is T.D.D.U.P HTX. And you should have also seen a flyer that we've been posting, and the flyer has the QR code on there as well for you to scan and register as well. And like I said in the beginning, I'm going to put a link there for you to click that link, and it's going to take you to the registration page where you'll be able to register. And like my husband said, you're going to do something for Valentine's Day, so just make it a weekend. Invest in your marriage so you can get that profitable return in the long run.
Yeah, I see one of my friends on here, Marvin. Listen, man, go ahead and get your wife, and y'all go ahead and register. I'm telling you, you're going to miss a treat if you miss this retreat. I'm a poet and you know it. Listen, you have to go ahead and register now.
Register now, Marvin. We're waiting on you all.
Register so that you can participate in this retreat. We're gonna give out good information. You want to spice up your intimacy. We got my wife. She's the expert when it comes down to this. She have one of her. I
have a lady.
Tell them about that, Susie. Tell them.
You just gonna tell them.
Well, we don't want to.
I have for the intimacy for this session the T.D.D.U.P After Dark that Friday night.
This for grown folks now.
For the grown and the sexy. We're going to talk about intimacy. And then I have a lady, she's a BK consultant, bedroom candy consultant. She's going to be coming out. Don't
tell them everything.
Well, you the one brought it up, sir.
Yeah. Well, don't. But it's
gonna. I mean, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about it all.
Listen, register today. It is imperative that you go there and register so that we can have you in the number. Listen, we're going to be talking about everything from communication to intimacy, how to strengthen your relationship, how to keep your wife satisfied, how to keep your husband satisfied. Listen, you don't want to miss this right here. Somebody say, well, what makes you qualify? Listen, I've been doing this stuff for 35 years, and experience is one of the best teachers, but the Word of God will help. Certainly it would fortify, what we're going to be talking about, because we're going to give you biblical principles on marriage, biblical principles, so that you'll know how to function within your relationship.
Yes. And so, yeah, go register. So, again, we have another comment from Miss Shavonda. She said, I believe some do, but the majority do not. Now, regarding counseling, she says men don't want to be told anything because their way is the only way, leaving it impossible to open up to see others, to see there are other ways in handling or doing certain things.
And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And you know, I agree with this comment right here. Sometimes us as men, we have a closed mind for getting assistance. Listen, brothers, if you're gonna have a successful relationship, it's not about someone telling you what to do. Watch this right here. On your job, they tell you what to do and you do it. They instruct you on your job and you do what they say. So it's not about, it's where you want to prioritize. A lot of time we think just because we have our wives that they got to listen at you, they got to obey you. Listen, they got to obey you according to the scriptures. Paul said this right here, follow me as I follow Christ. So if you're a godly man, your wife don't have no trouble following you, and you don't have no trouble following Christ. See, you want somebody to follow you, but you don't want to follow the Lord. And so what we're trying to do, we're trying to help you to understand what the Lord has to say about your marriage. And when you understand what God has to say about your marriage, because you probably got into the marriage not even really understanding what marriage is for. So we want to help you to understand what marriage is for.
You have to allow someone in. You have to trust someone.
Exactly.
You have to trust someone. No man is an island. We are created as relational creatures, meaning that we need relationships.
Absolutely.
So you have to trust someone. Open up.
We're gonna
and be there.
We're gonna share.
Let them be there.
We're gonna share with you from God's word. For those of you who don't know what marriage is supposed to be and what marriage is for, that's what we're going to try to help you to understand with clarity. Marriage was not Big Mama's idea. It was not Paw idea. It was not your great grandparents' idea. Marriage was God's idea in the garden. And so now, what did God have in his mind when he brought the woman to the man? What was in the mind of God? And what was God's agenda for marriage? And so we want to help you to understand that. We want you to really understand what God's intentions for marriage is. Who better to tell you how to be successful than the architect of marriage?
Yep. And so another comment here says the fear of vulnerability from past hurts that either one of them have gotten. All of this can be fixed if we as a people begin to invest. But it takes two to want to invest in the relationships.
Absolutely.
Sometimes stuff that happens in the past, being vulnerable.
Right.
You have to, in order to be vulnerable with somebody, you have to trust them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Somebody got to know you and trust you and know your character, know more about you, but when they open up to share what's going on in their relationship. So vulnerability, the fear of vulnerability, that's something that people can hold people back.
Absolutely. And, we have to learn how to trust again.
Yeah.
When you've been hurt in an area, you got to open up again. You can't just...
Well, not necessarily trusting each other, meaning that the trusting to open up in a counseling session, trusting to open up at a retreat to talk about what's going on.
Absolutely.
That type of way.
And
not your partner.
You're right. We found that to be true. But watch this right here. When we first, my wife and I, when we first started counseling and having the marriage retreat, we had young couples coming, and they would kind of like sit back and kind of be reserved. But then once the ice began to break, and other people began to open up, and then they started talking about certain issues that they had, and then the other couples will say, well, we having that same issue. So these things, when you come to the retreats and to the marriage podcast, it helps you to open up. You have to open up in order to be able to get resolved.
You have to trust somebody at some point.
Absolutely.
So hopefully, like my husband said, we've been married for 35 years, and we're speaking from experience.
Absolutely.
And we've lived a life of integrity. If you need to check references, we have reference for you to check, but we can be trusted.
Absolutely. And so go ahead.
Okay, did you want to go to the last one?
Okay, go ahead to the last one.
So then we have another comment. This is from Black Marriage Therapy. She says, "This is such a great question. Thank you for asking. I think that it is multi-layered. For each individual couple, it is different. True. I feel that culturally, we have been taught to handle everything within our own community, not often seek outside help. And I think the same is true for marriage. When we're having problems or issues, we turn within to the family. You know, maybe our siblings or cousins or even like our pastors. But when it comes to like seeking outside help, like a counselor or a therapist or even a conference, we really don't go outside. And I think it's a way to protect ourselves and to protect our relationships. But I think that's probably the main reason why. So I think from this person is saying, you know, you've been taught what happens in this house stays in this house.
Yeah, and see that's where we run into trouble when we start trying to seek help from people that's not qualified, and you get with your friend who she's single and she go to telling you, child, I'll leave him, and then next thing you know he be on her arm. So you got to be very careful. You gotta seek the proper counseling, and so that's what I believe God have given Susan and I the ability to help counsel you through difficult times in your relationship. And so not just so much as difficult time, but also give you the information and the knowledge and the understanding and the wisdom to preempt possible things that would happen in your relationship.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, we have that notion. What stays in this house, what happens in this house stays in the house. We got to get away from that.
Absolutely.
So if we want to strengthen our marriages and have long lasting marriages for our two parent homes for our children to grow up in and grandchildren to have, come along the way. So this last thing I want to mention, and then we're gonna. And if you have any questions or comments and you want to pose them, go ahead and put them there in the comment section. Cause I have the computer here. I'm looking for them, and we'll respond with your comment that you make here.
Yeah. Any questions? Just ask the question. We have this as a Q&A time.
But I have a comment here from a Dr. Davis. Reminds us that intentional couples don't just navigate challenges; they actively seek solutions. And they embrace change.
Say that again. He said they actively
seek solutions, meaning that they're trying to find a problem.
Yes, absolutely.
For how to fix this. When they embrace change, because sometimes it brings about a change. Change has to happen sometime. And they invest in their relationships' growth.
Absolutely. It's all about investing.
Yep.
Listen, you have to invest. If you want a successful marriage, you have to invest in every aspect of the relationship, so from the head to the toe. You gotta invest in it.
Actively seek solutions and embrace the change. Because sometimes you may need to change. You point at her, it may be you that's the problem, or vice versa.
Absolutely. So you certainly want to invest in that relationship.
Or look, or don't go to the counselor and then she tell you that you need to do this, you need to do that, and you leave. Oh, she don't know what she's talking about.
That's arrogance at the highest level.
You got to embrace the change that the professional is giving you. Embrace the change. Exactly. If you the problem, fix the problem.
If you want to have a successful marriage, the first thing you have to do is look within.
Look within.
Don't start pointing the finger at your spouse. Mm-hmm. Look and see within yourself. How can you become better? What can you do to create that change?
And you know what I always tell the couples, if you focus on taking care of each other, then both of you all will be satisfied. If I focus on taking care of Curtis' needs and he focus on taking care of my needs, we're both satisfied. Instead of him worried about, oh, I need this and I need that. No. That's my responsibility. I got you. So I'm going to make sure that you have what you need and what you want, some of what you want. And vice versa. He's going to make sure that I have what I need and some of what I want. So therefore, we have both parties satisfied.
And if you got two satisfied people, you should be making some waves.
Yeah. And so on that note, I just want to leave here 3 tips to foster intentionality, because it takes intentionality, because you'll forget. You'll forget with life, you're working, you have children, things happen, your life happens. But you have to be intentional about investing in your relationship. So you want to have regular check-ins. Marvin, you asked about intentionality. Here's some more. You want to schedule regular check-ins to discuss the feelings, the concerns, or dreams.
What she's feeling. Our wives are emotional beings, and so you have to make them feel as if you're not
Let them know that
legitimately address their emotions. You have to do that. That's an investment. You're investing in her emotions.
Right. So that with those regular check-ins, that communication, that builds a bridge. And then next you have adaptability. You're going to embrace the change together. Life evolves, and so should your relationship. In life, you change. What you liked at 25, you might not like at 45.
Absolutely.
So, you embrace the change. Flexibility is the key in a relationship. You got to be flexible. Then lastly, you want to shared goals. Identify some common aspirations and work towards them as a team. Shared dreams create a stronger bond.
Absolutely. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you, Susie, for those 3 pointers. Well, listen, you all, we are so thankful and blessed that you allow us to come into your home. We really want to help enhance and create an environment where your marriage can thrive.
Right.
We want your marriage to thrive. We want what God has allowed to come together not be put under. See, Satan's desire is to destroy the marriage, Susie.
Destroy the family. Yes,
destroy the marriage, destroy the family, destroy the church, destroy the community, destroy the city, destroy the country, destroy the world. And we want to make sure that we don't allow that to happen.
Not on our watch.
Not on our watch. We got to be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Well, with that being said, for the last time, please go to the website.
Oh, yeah.
And click on the QR code and register. And come out on February the 15th through the 17th, and let's have a retreat like no other. And we're looking forward to grow exponentially every year. It's gonna grow. With that being said, Sue, do you have any final thoughts?
No, again, like I said, go and register. I'm going to put a link in the comment section for everyone to have. And then when I'm posting different videos about the retreat, there's always the link there. And then there's the QR code that's on the flyer. So go ahead and register. We have limited seating. We're keeping it small and intimate this year, so we can be able to pour into every couple. So go register. We look forward to seeing you there.
I want to thank some of my co-workers here. Marvin is one, and we have Angel Hernandez, he's watching, and we also have Joe Flores. So we thank you guys for tuning in with us. Listen, I want you guys to consider going to register.
Oh, yeah, and remember what I said in the beginning. We're giving 2 couples a discount that register by Wednesday. The next two couples to register by Wednesday, we're giving them a discount.
Absolutely.
So if you want to invest in your marriage, go register. We got a discount on the line.
Well, listen, this video, you can watch it in its entirety, but we thank you for allowing us to come into your home. And once again, we want to say to those of you that are listening to us on tonight, thank you for tuning in on Friday night
with Curtis and
Susie on T.D.D.U.P. God bless you is our prayer.
Remember,
go ahead, honey.
I was going to say, remember, go to our website, like and share our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and register for the retreat.
Register. Thank you all. We'll see you next time.
So,
I got some of my co-workers here.
Is it small?